Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got a pretty interesting unboxing to do with you guys. So usually I do unboxings blind, and that's intentional. I don't like to know too much about what it is. I like to just kind of react to it. In this case, because what we have here are knives from Buck. This is the first time in the entirety of my channel history that I've had something sent to me directly by Buck. Typically, it's not that I don't like, or I don't think that Buck makes good knives. Just a lot of the models in the past haven't resonated. Admittedly, though, I haven't really seen anywhere near everything they have to offer. I remember a conversation I had with them, or their marketing person, through email, and they showed me a knife that looked pretty good. I thought, yeah, let's give it a shot. I'm all for, of course, showing brands that I don't normally showcase as well. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Buck, for sending these in. I will link them. I think at the moment they're still in pre-order, which is, part of the information I looked up. But what I was really impressed by was the HRC range, the fact that it's all USA manufacturing, and ultimately the price tag, which was really, really competitive, especially when you consider who their real competition is. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. Make sure your notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. I'm going to guess these are all the same. Perhaps they sent me the full size and the mini. I'm not sure. We're going to find out here. Let's open this first one up. Take a look. I believe these are, I saw a video where they described them as the Range series. So I think they're calling these the Range folders. What we have looks nice. Buck, USA, we got aluminum. We've got some bronze studs, nice thin blade there. And we have a crossbar lock. Right, which isn't new, not at all. You certainly see crossbar locks all the time, but yeah, boy, that did feel nice. Got a little bit of stick there, but we sometimes see that with crossbar locks. This is essentially Buck's bug out, which is fine because everybody's done the bug out. This feels pretty good. What is the HRC range for their Magna Cut? The interview that I watched, where they talked about this series, said Buck hit it between 62 and 64. I was not expecting you guys to say that. That's pretty cool. That means that they listen to our side of the community. I know that a lot of us like to think that we are the community. No, we, the snobby enthusiasts, represent a teeny tiny portion of the community. We're very, very loud, but we do not represent the entirety of people on Earth who enjoy pocket knives. I don't know why I wasn't super convinced that Buck and a lot of other companies would pay attention to what a lot of us say. It's not just us saying it, right? But the people in our community are certainly hyper-focused on optimizing HRC ranges. This knife being an ultra-thin, or, a pretty darn thin Magna Cut blade will definitely benefit from not only the entirety of the Magna Cut composition, but the fact that it's nice and thin behind the edge and actually hardened to that optimal range. There's no argument. 62 to 64 is peak optimal. That's pretty good. This feels nice. Feels nice. I think I need to tighten that pivot down just a little bit. I got a little bit of blade play there. But it's usually because companies don't typically Loctite these things right out of the box anymore, which I think is good. So I don't mind having to adjust it. Buck, I'm going to guess you guys went with T8 here. Oh, even bigger. T10. Let's just make sure. I want to make sure the action's still good, even with everything being tightened down. It's a little bit more. Okay, we got her solid now. Feels pretty good. Yeah, I think maybe I could probably back off a little bit there. All important to make sure that we've got good tolerances. We should be able to get it smooth and centered, and it should be without any blade play. There we go. Pretty close. Pretty good. Let's open these other ones. Looking for consistency here. So I'm going to guess this is the large one. They also have a mini. This one here. And yes, these will be up for giveaway. Oh, do we have the less expensive one? Yeah. So they also make these with less expensive materials. We have 14C28N, and this feels like injection mold plastic, which is cool because this knife is made in the USA. For those of you who love the idea of giving your money to a company that actually makes things in the USA, but you're on a budget, you know that your options are limited. Typically, you are limited to Chinese knives and Chinese knives that pretend they're USA knives, but are actually Chinese knives. Like that's pretty much it. I don't know the price on these. I imagine they're still going to be quite a bit higher than their Chinese counterparts, obviously, but it's nice that we have that option. This one's completely solid, and the action's about in the same place, right? Not wanting to immediately drop all the way shut, but smooth enough for sure. Crossbar lock is kind of that same initial stickiness, but not a deal breaker. Is this one centered? I'm gonna give it that. Yeah. We have a grind, little wide on one side. No, it's about the same. I wonder why the tip just looks a little bit. I'm not going to be too upset about that. I think that's pretty darn close. I think the blade can be kind of mashed center. But yeah, okay, not bad. I do like the pocket clip. It's pretty tight, resting directly on top of texturing, but the texturing's not that intense. This one, actually a different pocket clip. This can be rotated around. Oh, we have the Chicago ends over here too. I actually like the way that this is constructed. It looks good. This is nice and sitting right on top of the aluminum. So we have the Elite version, I think, and we have the standard version. These are both full size. And then this third one here is going to be a mini. Okay. The third one, wish I had looked up. Okay, so this is a mini Elite already. Same thing, but smooth. No blade plate. Are these running on bearings? Oh my gosh, are these running on washers? Wow, okay, hold on now. Okay, now I'm not nearly as concerned with the fall shuttiness. This is actually, if these are running on washers, this is ridiculously impressive. Let's take a look at that plunge grind. Okay, I've got this one. Solid, slight lock stick. Slight, not bad. It is centered. Pretty good, pretty even cutting bevel. Maybe slight smile back here, not bad. Nice satin finish. Magna cut blade. I think the minis run, right around 200. This guy pulled up at $219 That's really competitive. Benchmade, if Benchmade made this exactly, they would charge you $350 for it. There is no difference whatsoever here between this and something that would be made by Benchmade. We're actually like the pricing here is so good, and yeah, I mean that, not blowing smoke. These feel pretty nice. I don't know what the price of the less expensive, like the budget version is. But the fact that they got it like this and it's running on washers, they hit the right HRC range. It's a good ergonomic profile with an ambidextrous pocket clip. The jimping's not, it might as well not be there. There's not much traction you get off of it, but this is a good USA made tool. $219. This actually makes some Hogues look kind of expensive, and Hogue always is hitting the price points, appropriately. I think just about the only company that's making their stuff in the USA and using similar materials is Kershaw with the Bel Air, which is a smaller knife, and those come in at like $160 or something like that, right? But I don't know if they have a certain percentage, like some of their parts, they might have a higher percentage of some of their parts that are outsourced. I don't know. But they, from my experience, are beating out everybody else when you factor in the overall quality. Like when we're talking about a knife like this, like a bug out-ish USA made knife. Little bit of lock stick, but overall, really good. High quality. Lots and lots of other US companies, I think, would charge $50 to $100 more than what these are going for. I'm actually not upset about this at all. I really like that these are running on washers. And yeah, you could say, a lot of people are going to reduce this to, we already have 1 million of these bug out knives. Do we really need another one? Not everybody, no. But very specifically, people who want this profile, want their money to go to a U.S. company, and want it to still be a good, high-quality, functional tool, and no corners were cut. So, do those people want it? Yeah, absolutely. At $220, I promise you, there's going to be people who want this. Absolutely, right? It doesn't have to be for everybody to need to be, right, for somebody. It doesn't need to be for everybody in order to be justified, for sure. I actually am far more impressed than I thought I was going to be, because it's been a long time since I've handled anything from Buck. I think the last thing that I handled from Buck was an automatic 110 that a viewer sent me years ago, and I was kind of like, so this is pretty cool. I'm not unhappy about this. Depending on the price of this one, this might be really popular as well. I just love that they're running on washers. That's really cool. I wish the little one was a little less expensive, right? I mean, that's that part of my brain that's like, it's smaller, so the price should be the exact percentage smaller. Like this should be, the price of the Bel. The Bel Air is a little bit bigger than this and is priced about, $40 less or so. But this is pretty cool. I'm not $219. I think that's pretty fair. When I checked, you guys are going to watch this a couple of weeks after I record it, just because everything's pre-recorded and scheduled. There's a lot of content that's scheduled ahead of this. But in my time, which today is like August 26th or so, I don't know. I honestly don't even know the date. It said pre-order available on Knife Center. So I'll have links down in the description where you can at least go do that. They might be available now, so you can check it out. But this will absolutely get a full review. I'm actually going to go ahead and throw this one in my pocket right away and start carrying it. Thank you so much to Buck for sending these in. Very cool. And after I'm done doing the reviews, I will definitely do giveaways for these knives. So please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.